So I got my buddy's 16 XP Turbo here, and he calls me up and says, man, have you ever changed a steady bearing or a drive shaft in one of these things? And I said, I've not in the Turbo XP, but I heard it's quite a job. He says, man, I've watched the Super ATV videos and other stuff and all over YouTube, and I can't find anything quick and easy about these things. And I said, well, it can't be that hard. So he sent me the videos, I watched them, and sure enough, it looks a bit intense. So I said, there's got to be an easier way. And then another buddy of mine a week ago calls me up and says, man, I got this XP Turbo here, and I can't get the drive shaft out, and I've been in this thing for hours. He's a Can-Am guy, so I kind of thought, well, maybe he's being a bit biased. So I watched the videos myself. I watched along YouTube, and sure enough, they're taking the panels off, the seats out, the fuel tank off, and just, it was a lot of work. And I thought, man, there's got to be an easier way. So here we are. I decided to dig into it, and I got this drive shaft out in less than an hour. I didn't take any of the panels off. I didn't take the fuel tank out. I did have to take the seats out and the center console out. We'll get into that in a second here. But I'm going to make a quick video to show you just outlines of how I got this out. If you need to step-by-step, there's all kinds of videos on how to do step-by-step. So here's what I did. For starts, took the wheel off for easy access to that front pin in there. This little bugger. My buddy started this on his own first, and this is how it ended up coming to me. You see what he did? He broke the punch off in there, and it spread it open. It actually cracked it and wedged it in there real good. It took me about 10 minutes to get it out, and no, I didn't use an air hammer. I don't believe in those things. But whatever you do, guys, use the right size punch to get that out, or you're going to get yourself into a whole lot of headaches. So once we get that out, then from the inside of the vehicle, again, the seats did have to come out, the center console had to come out, and we got the carrier bolts out of this thing. We got those carrier bolts out. And then I went to the back of the machine, and these 4 bolts out. There are tricks online to show you how to do that. It's not that bad. And from there, then, of course, drop the splash pan. And so then all of a sudden the drive shaft is just kind of laying in there, just idle. So I thought, man, there's got to be an easier way to get this thing out. And then I found this, pulls right off here. Mark it, by the way, because there is a way to go back on properly. So this pulls out of here. This just sits on here, slides on there. As you can see, the bearing fell out of it. So you move the drive shaft sideways, and I'll kind of show you here. And it comes out right through that slot there. So we pulled it out through here. See, as we're doing this with one arm. But it come right out through there, right through the back. And it slid the whole thing right out. It didn't take a whole lot of effort. Right out through like that. Slid it right out. And there I have it. That was the rear part. It wasn't that much work. It took 2 of us just because he kind of guided it and I guided up front just so I wasn't hitting anything or going to risk breaking anything. But that was it. And then left us with this piece. Of course, the bearing is still on. It fell apart after I tried to take it off, but the bearing is still on and up in here. So here's where the tricky part was. This sits up and it bolts inside here and here, up in there. Sorry, I'm a bit of a rookie with doing this. And there are the 2 holes. So on the other side, from up inside. So this here, the way this was sitting, up in there with the drive shaft still attached, we were able to push it upwards, and I'll show you right here. Right there, there's a bolt. This bolt here, it's got a 10 mil head, and you have to wrench it out, and that attaches this bracket here. This bracket here slides along these cooler lines and attaches right here. Once you slide this out and down to here, it gives you a bit of room here so you can lift the drive shaft up and slide it out. You may have to tap it up over this piece of frame or cross member, as you will, and it will slide back and come down. Now, it did fetch up a little on this edge, so I had to get him to hold it up, and we were able to kind of massage it out through here. I guess I should say we did have to unbolt this too, but we didn't have to take it out. And that was it. We got it out through here, and as you can see, it's on the floor. We're going to change that yoke. We got a new Super ATV carrier bearing, that yoke, and both U-joints. And hopefully it'll go back in even easier, because you can actually separate, in this case, this bearing separates here, so we can slide it in and put it together in there. So that's that. I know it's not very detailed, but that's the outline of it. This thing here, this moves quite a bit. It's obviously rubber mounted for dampening, and we were able to push this and move it around on the drive shaft, and that's what it maybe get it up over this hump, because it does sit right here, like it loops down, so you can push it up and it will slide back. You may have to tap on it a little bit with a hammer just kind of to get it to go, but I didn't have to beat on it hard by any means, and we got it out. So yeah, it can be done in about an hour, and save you a ton of work. But I wouldn't try this on the floor myself, because I've been spoiled with the few hoists I have here, and it has made things a whole lot easier. So I hope this helps, guys, and you know, in the future, if you guys get stuck into any of these issues, I'd like to know, and maybe the next time I get an opportunity, I'll see if there's an easier way. Thanks. Just want to clarify one thing. I may have made the mistake. These are intercooler lines. These are cooler or radiator lines. And don't pry on them. The last thing you want to do is kink or break those things, and you'll be in a bunch of trouble. We did not have to. And again, there was a bit of a clearance issue right here, but once we move this up out of the way, it did give us the room. As you can see, there's no marks on them where it may have hit or anything. But yeah, so careful. Just don't beat or pry or anything on these. You will regret it.